Hey everyone, Pro Engineering here, and for once in my life, I'm not going to talk about a Tamiya Hornet. What we have here are probably two of the most iconic monster trucks ever made. We have Vanessa's Lunchbox and Cindy's Midnight Pumpkin. I don't know if the new Midnight Pumpkins are still called Cindy's Midnight Pumpkin. This is an original one. I got this 91, I think, for my birthday. Wow, he's been around a while. If anybody knows, I'm actually kind of interested to know if this is still Cindy's Midnight Pumpkin. Anyway, that's a whole other discussion. What I wanted to go over on both of these here are some body mounts that I created for the Lunchbox and the Midnight Pumpkin. Let's go ahead and start with the Lunchbox. These body mounts are exact copies of the original, the only difference being that they can be colored to match your body. The original body mounts were chrome plated and very, very hard to actually color. These are made out of nylon, and see here you can see that they have been dyed by Shapeways in yellow. Push the body a little more. They've been dyed by Shapeways in yellow, and they'll come in a variety of colors. And if a color that you want is not available, you can simply get a white one, and this stuff takes the paint like nobody's business. So here we can see the body mount installed, and it's exactly the same as the stock Tamiya body mount. This one here, I did try and beef up the overall design by adding a round here on the inside, but it's very difficult to alter the overall integrity of this mount. If you've got a car that is very lightly run or Shelf Queen, these are a good choice. If you plan on jumping this thing quite often and rolling it and tumbling it around like these were intended to, I really cannot recommend these. Spend probably the exact same money and get yourself a set of aluminum ones. Those will outlast the car. If you want something cosmetic, okay, you want to paint it, you want it to match your body, these are a great choice. But please, as I mentioned before, these are laser sintered nylon, and the diameter of this shaft here is exactly the same as the factory one. And on to the Midnight Pumpkin. I cannot recall the last time I actually had a set of complete Midnight Pumpkin body mounts. Most of mine kind of look like that, where they just, this is actually pretty impressive. Normally they break right here at the legs. This is styrene. It's a very it's a very stiff plastic. Not a great choice for body mounts. And what happened early on for me when I bought this truck, I mean, how was I, 11, 12 years old when I got this truck. These lasted, I think, 2 or 3 jumps off of a curb. And those of you who own these pickups, you know how abysmal these suckers are. They're terrible. So what I did is I took the exact same geometry that was important, the overall height, shaft diameter here, placement of the this rib here for the body to actually sit on for the front, as well as the rear, and created some new ones. Now, unfortunately, I sell these so fast that I never have a chance to actually show off the ones that I made. So what I'm going to show you here is the ones that I made as prototypes to the nylon ones. I'm going to go ahead and pull the body off and show you how they work. But before I do that, let's take a look and see how they are fitting here. Now, I always install a little bit of an O-ring here because, as you can see, the hole for the body pin is quite high, and that causes the body to kind of flop around, and over time will just destroy the paint. I painted this truck the way you see it here in 96 or 97. This is a heavily run truck, as you can tell by the lack of tread on these original tires. This truck has been run quite heavily, and using an O-ring here, and this is again not for these body mounts, these are for any body mounts, they prevent paint from chipping. The first thing you're going to note is that this shaft diameter and this shaft diameter are different. This is smaller than this. The reason for that is just something I did when I was a little kid, because these stupid things always broke. I made my own body mount, so the holes on my bodies are larger on the production ones, they have the exact same shaft diameter, not the larger one here. So just kind of keep that as a side note. At the rear, kind of same deal. The shaft diameter is a bit larger, and I did a bit of a mistake here. I put the hole in this direction. It's supposed to be in this direction. Again, the production ones are in the correct direction that we see here. So let's pull the body off and see how these things look. I'll do my best to make sure that you can actually see these, but the geometry that you're looking at, other than the shaft diameter, as I mentioned before, is what you're going to get. What I did is try to take the original body mount, which is this one right here, and make it so that it wasn't going to break when you're looking at it. And a couple things I wanted to do is reinforce the overall, shear problem this thing has, snapping at the base. And I did that by creating these very large ribs here. There are holes, if you can see them right there, and I put the hole in there mainly because when I had the body off, I always lose my body mounts. So there you go. I didn't want to put them up here because then I couldn't take the body on and off, but that's just me and my neurosis. I also went ahead and did away with the slot. Now it is a screw hole. Okay, and it does fit the standard E8-Tamiya Phillips head screw. Probably shouldn't call it Phillips, not a Phillips, it's a JIS. Screw, no problem at all. And at the bottom, you can see that little tab right here, which aligns it to the chassis. Zero modification are required for this installation. Zero modification is required for the body. Okay, and there we have it. Let's take a look at the rear. The rear mount I found a little bit more challenging. One problem that I always had with this mount was that it was a disaster to try and put the body pin through this hole. The bed thickness is just a hair beneath the thickness between the bottom of the hole and the top of this rib here. So I moved this rib up by 1 millimeter so that this would stick out of the bed more and allow you to actually put a pin through there. It would also then allow you to put a O-ring, just like in the front, beneath it so that the bed wouldn't rattle around. Okay, again, the hole through this has been rotated by 90 degrees, like this one here. Just a little bit of a mistake on this prototype. Like the front, I've done away with this ridiculous slot here, which does nothing other than make these things break off. And we've also increased rigidity by adding these gussets here. I also increased the diameter of this pad. As you can tell, this one is very, very small in diameter. I had a buddy of mine with a Midnight Pumpkin growing up, and I remember him going to the racetrack with us, jumping off some relatively large jump, probably far too large for Midnight Pumpkin, if that's even a thing, land, and both body mounts shoot themselves through the bed of the truck. And I've seen lots of Midnight Pumpkins with that same problem. This is going to help mitigate that. If the height is an issue, you can also just throw a washer on top of that and kind of, bump up the spacing. I just wanted to leave you a little extra room just because of the problems that I've always had with these. I did want to mention once more that all of the body mounts that you've seen here are printed solely in nylon and can be dyed any color of your choosing. A number of pre-selected basically primary colors are available through Shapeways. The set on the Midnight Pumpkin here, very durable. I've been running this thing with my Lexan body at the track near the house, and it's hung in there great. There's not a chance that those body mounts are going to be anywhere near as awful as that garbage over there. The Lunchbox, on the other hand, remember, these are best used for shelfers or light runners. If you have any concern that these are going to break, get yourself a set of aluminum ones. Those are rock solid, super durable, but you can't beat these for the color matching. That's primarily why I created those. Both of these come in a sprue that contains all four of them. So an order of one will get you all four. All four of the all four of the lunch boxes are identical. And of course, the Midnight Pumpkin, you get two at the front as well as 2 of the rear. I hope you enjoyed this. I do have a couple other videos coming up soon for both of these chassis. One of them is going to be a brace for the transmission so that they doesn't slap during acceleration. The other one, let me see if you can guess what the other one is. Suspension compressed, suspension compressed. What do you think's going on here? Well, don't worry, we'll have to go over that soon. Please subscribe. I always enjoy reading comments as well, so leave as many as you would like. If you have any questions about where to purchase these, there's going to be a website at the end of the video which will show you where to go to my shop on shapeways.com. I'm also on Facebook as well as Instagram, both under Pro Engineering, where I'll post things constantly. And I do want to thank Blue Pinto for allowing me to use their music in all of my videos. Please check out their Facebook page. That is also at the end of this video. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.